Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Tony Gaskins here. Now, I was about to say joining me, but you see, I got a special guest on with me, Coach Jessica Rich. Now, if you pay attention to my community page, you've seen me post Coach Jessica, the retreat that's coming up in Italy. So for those of y'all who you don't like domestic stuff, you need to get out the country, then you can sign up for the Italy retreat. And then I post the Greece, maybe it was, and Thailand. So Coach Jessica travels the whole world, as y'all know. But what we're doing is something special and doing something domestically in Dallas, Texas. So we have that coming up, and Coach Jessica is the producer of that event. Jessica, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Tony. Thank you for
And you
having
over
me.
there, you know you're on camera over there making faces. you over there, you on camera the whole time. So, did you like your introduction? Was it too much?
It was good. It was perfect. It was perfect. Captured me well.
Tell the people, a little bit about yourself and what got you on this journey. I can't remember what year it is that I met you on the coaching side of things. I can't remember what year, but I remember where I was. I was at a soccer practice and I was sitting in the sprinter maybe or in the car coaching. And don't know if I told you that. And I just remember you telling me your story and you working in corporate. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and what brought you to this health and wellness journey.
Sure. So, Jessica Rich go, Jessica Rich Coaching, Coach Jessica. A lot of people refer to me as, and so um, I worked in corporate America for almost 18 years with over a decade in leadership. And as a leader, at the beginning, it was great. I love coaching and developing people and, being the first person in my immediate family to be a leader in corporate was a big deal. If you ask my dad, he was telling people I was like the CEO, president. I'm like, that is not my role. So they were really, really proud of me. But eventually I started experiencing burnout. And so in 2020, right before COVID hit, I just realized that I was hitting a wall. I felt like I was carrying a lot. I had just ended a relationship. And so I really started focusing on myself. I started going to therapy. And then that is when I scheduled a coaching session with you, probably a few months after that. And so between therapy, coaching with you, and just really focusing on self care, um, I discovered like how to set boundaries, how to pour into myself, but still be able to develop and coach people to still be that ear, but like respect my time. And that's where the coaching came from. And, your life coach certification helped me do that as well as your coaching. Because one thing that I was really, I'll say it, I was afraid of was I had spent so much time in corporate America. I didn't know how to start a business. There was this fear of jumping and starting and what does it look like. And I've said time and time again, you will give the blueprint. And so when I met with you, you literally will write it all, like do this, do that, and I will walk away with a full outline of what to do next. And so 2020, 2023, I'm pouring into myself. During that time I get promoted in corporate America, so now I'm a senior leader. And it was something that I was really proud of, but I realized right away that I didn't fit in that space. And what I mean by that is I had done the work and I had this level of peace. I was like, I don't think this matches my personal life. And so the promotion in 2022, I go to Bali with you in 2023 for your retreat. And I literally came back with this new sense of like, I get to define what success and happiness looks like. Right. And so the coaching practice is already in place. I have my first in-person event scheduled, the I Choose Me conference. And I've already created this community of women virtually where we're meeting monthly, the women improvement calls, we're pouring into one another, we're talking about different topics. And so in my mind, I'm doing all the things, I'm checking the boxes, but I felt like God was telling me, you're putting yourself in a box and you can do so much more. And I never imagined that I could host a retreat, going to Bali with you. And I actually went a week before you all arrived. And so I launched Thailand, and I had 8 women join me in Thailand. Excuse me, I had 9 women join me in Thailand. And then I'm still working in corporate, trying to navigate that. I'm burnt out, can't lose weight, gaining weight, also experiencing high blood pressure. And I'm like, why is it that I'm doing all the things? So in my mind, I'm focusing on the 3B's outside of my professional life. I have the business, and one would say I was succeeding in the professional world, and on the outside looking in my personal life, and they just didn't match in a line. And so I launched Greece and in 2024. So we're working on, going to Greece. And then I made a bold decision to leave corporate America after going out on short-term disability for 6 months. And that was due to stress. And reality is a lot of people around me cheered me on and supported me. Tony, you were one. I was very intentional about who I allowed in my space at that time. And you were like one of 3 people that knew I was leaving. And then I really made this decision, like I'm gonna step out on faith. And I said, all I need is a mustard seed of faith. I'm still pouring into my community. I still have Greece, scheduled to go live. At that time, I had 25 women signed up to join me, which is, I never would have imagined that. And I later went into higher education. And so the one thing I will say is my journey is truly a reflection of society doesn't tell you what success looks like. Everybody's path looks differently. I got the bachelor's, I got the MBA, I got all the certifications and designations, but I wasn't happy. And so by me really taking that time to pour into myself, focus on my mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and overall well-being, I created not only a space where I feel at peace, but I also help women feel at peace as well. And so that has positioned me to not only to continue to coach with you, but want to bring this conference to Dallas because I know how important it is for other people just to be poured into.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And what I will say to everybody listening and watching is Coach Jessica love her a boundary. She love a boundary. And so if you want to learn about boundaries, you got to book a session with her if you can't make it to Dallas to the conference. Cause like if whenever we scheduling a call, which she get to schedule her calls by text through text versus having to go to the calendar because she in the year coaching program. So she'll send me exact times. Tony, I have April 2nd, April 9th, April 16th, and it'll be the exact time she have open. And if I can't make a time or if I have to cancel a time, like the day is March 26th, this interview will go up on March 26th because the conference is coming up April 18th. And if I have to cancel March 26th, she most every other person will be like, okay, Tony, let's go March 27th. Jessica, okay, Tony, how does April 21st look? I'm like, the whole time I'm sitting there like, what is she doing? Like, she ain't got that much going on. I'm like, what she got? Like, why we gotta push it out so far? I'm like, what is Jessica doing? Who is she talking to? But she love a boundary. So I don't know if she is called a boundaries coach, but I think every woman needs boundaries. I think every human needs boundaries. And because I got me some too. So y'all definitely need to book a session for that. And so April 18th is the conference. Now, Jessica, who all will be at the conference? Who all is confirmed right now as far as, their titles and what they do and teach on, and, give them a little rundown of the topics and discussions we'll be having.
Okay. Well, we have so we're going to have a panel for each B, which I'm super excited about, just to hear from individuals who going to share their own journey, but also are pouring into others. And so Brandon Harris, he works in the corporate space, so he's the project manager, but he also is a mental health professional, and he's currently working on becoming a counselor. And so one thing I thought was very important is to have mental health professionals in the room with us, because I know sometimes, especially in the Black community, there's this fear of going to therapy. And so it was important to bring him in. He primarily focuses on men, especially Black men, to help them with their mental health and just navigating life in general. But he'll be on the panel. We'll also have another therapist. Her name is Farrah Van. She brings a unique experience from corporate America, plus the mental health field. So, sometimes you may have counselors who only have counseling experience. She's done them both. And so she can help her clients with navigating burnout, stress, just major life transitions. And she has over 20 years of experience. So I'm excited for us to really tap into that side of the brain. We have Coach D, his name is Dennis Connor, and he owns an actual gym facility here in Dallas. And so with his 23 years of experience in fitness and performance, it's important for us to think about the body. Sometimes it can be intimidating. It can feel like, how do I stay consistent? How do I, stay encouraged? And so one thing he does is create this environment where he really helps with mindset beyond just performance. And so he'll be on our panel to talk about body. I also thought it was very important to have health professionals in the room with us, because when it comes to the body, we think about the physical side, but overall wellness is so important. And so Janisha Mays is a registered nurse. She's an emergency nurse, and she has a wellness company. And she's going to talk to us about not just wellness and beauty, because that's her business, but then also really, really focusing on your energy, your overall well-being, and how to pour into yourself and the effects of not taking care of ourselves. I talked about how I experience high blood pressure. And I'm a person that I always go to the doctor if something's wrong, if I don't feel something's right. But we'll be able to hear that from her lens. So I'm super excited that they'll be able just to talk about the body with us. And then brand is one thing that, Tony, you have been very instrumental in when it comes to assisting me with focusing on my brand, not just the business, but how I show up. Being authentic to myself. And so we have Dr. Natasha Norris, who she is a media strategist. She's an entrepreneur. And she also has a skincare company. It's plant-based. I actually use it, and she basically considers it to be self-care in a bottle. And so I thought it was important that we talk to people who have been focusing on their brand, who have been successful, but can also talk about, in different seasons of life, whether you're single or you're married, why it's important to find what you're passionate about. And then our last panelist, last but not least, is Janelle Wright. She goes by Coach JJ, and she is an entrepreneur. She's a certified health coach. And then she's also a co-founder of a cycling studio, Pure RNG, and it is a Black-owned cycling studio in Dallas. Tony, I don't know if you've ever cycled, but it is a great workout. And in addition to her being an entrepreneur, she also has focused on her overall health journey. She's lost weight, she's been in competitions, and she's 25 years in the healthcare industry. And so when I think about all of the panelists, they actually can fit in every B, right? And that is something I think that we don't realize, that you think it's just one bucket. But if you're doing the work, they really can talk about any, topic when it comes to the 3B's. So I'm super excited for them to join us. And I know that they will pour into us in addition to everything that you bring.
Amazing. And that is, now it's like, if you ain't sold off of that, you can't be sold, because that's a lot of, because I know y'all get tired of hearing me talk and say the same thing. So now you get to hear all these other perspectives, and you get to hear these stories. And for me, one thing I always notice, I'm always scared about having speakers and stuff like that, people who, if they haven't built their brand to a certain point. But what I found is, at an event, everybody leaves full. Like, you leave totally different than you thought you were gonna leave. And that's every single event I've ever done or been a part of. That's the feedback that I get. Like, wow, it was so good. And I think what it is it's also psychological, because you're going in expectation, and you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're doing something that you don't normally do. So you're not just sitting and waiting on a rhema word to fall in your lap. You're not just waiting on change to happen, but you're being intentional, and you're going out and you're making it happen. Like you going in seeking what the change that you're trying to make in your life. And I think that's what really makes these live events so powerful and transformational. So you'll see, use that tax return, you'll see the link for tickets. And Jessica, tell them about the ticket options and what's available with the tickets.
Absolutely. So we have general admission tickets, which of course just allows you to be in the room to be poured into. There'll be some swag bags. And so there's the general admission ticket, but then there's another opportunity to have lunch with Tony. And that's a little bit more intimate where you'll have lunch with Tony. The panelists will also be there and you'll have time just to do additional fellowship. The goal is to be in the room with like-minded people. So it's additional level of networking that you'll be able to do. And then also there'll be an opportunity, tons of Q&A, right? So you're going to pour into us, you're going to give us, you're not a gatekeeper. So in addition to you pouring into us, there'll be an opportunity to take photos with Tony. There'll be lots of Q&A. So whatever you want to talk about when it comes to the 3Bs, you're going to have an opportunity to do that. And so you definitely want to make sure that you are in the room.
Awesome. And this is a intimate event, so it's not in no big old, huge arena or nothing like that. So there's no bad seat in the house. So every single person, you're gonna feel intentional. You're gonna feel like you are part of a community. And bring your business card so you could give it to the person next to you. Or if you don't have one, just come. And even if you're an introvert and you don't want to talk to a soul, just come grab your seat and get poured into and watch what happens. When you take action, when you go to meet the work halfway, you're going to see the transformation happen. Now, I cannot promise that I will be a part of another event in Texas. We may end up doing Houston or something, but it's not on the books yet. So if you in Texas and your car work and you don't mind a little drive, come on over. I know, Jessica, some people have reached out to me. They flying in from other parts of the country. So we have people flying in from Nevada and California and I can't remember if it was Ohio or Maryland. So that's a common thing that happens at every seminar that I'm a part of. It's always shocking to me, but I think some people like just that solo travel and using that time, 30,000 miles in the air to reset and be closer, to their thoughts and feelings. So in addition, now, have you thought about any other cities that you might want to take the 3B's conference to?
So I will say based on like your YouTube comments when you post and also Instagram, I've seen Atlanta and North Carolina the most. And
Okay.
so I know you've been to Atlanta. I don't know if you ever did anything in North Carolina, but those are the two cities that I've seen the most being commented for us to come.
Okay. So Atlanta and probably Charlotte. We'll see if we can make that happen. And y'all, listen, I've been doing events since 2012. So like Jessica, I get burned out. And so it's what's it, 2026? So
2026.
my thing is if you can make it out. Don't wait. Don't say, oh, I'm waiting till you come to my city because I can't guarantee I'll be at your city. So I'm doing this one, but I don't know if I'm retiring after this one. We'll see. Me and Jessica talk probably on that Monday after to see, okay, how we feeling? Should we do Atlanta? Should we do Charlotte? New York, it get a little bit too expensive. I got a lot of people up there, but it gets so expensive up there. So I'm not sure. So we're looking forward to seeing y'all. It's April 18th, correct, Jessica?
April 18th, 10 a.m. to
April.
5 p.m.
Okay, April 18th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. A full day. The lunch is at what time?
The lunch is about 12:15.
Okay, so about 12. That'll be about an hour probably.
It's an hour.
Okay. And so hopefully you can make it to the lunch, join that, because would that be capped at a certain, yeah, everything have to be capped. So
Yeah,
grab
there
your
is a
ticket.
cap.
Okay. So if you want to get and the lunch, all the lunch orders got to be in by some pretty here close because they got to get that situated. So if you know you want to be a part of the lunch, then go ahead and grab your ticket. I know sometimes you're waiting on a check. Maybe ask your homeboy or your homegirl spot you and then let them know you'll get them back when you get your check in. And so we know it's tough right now in this economy. It is a little crazy. So we hoping to see you. And if not, now when I did my conference in Lakeland, we did a virtual streaming because I just happened to meet a company that did it. But we don't have that set up here yet. So y'all don't bank on that. But I talked to Coach Jessica to see if she wanted to do, if she had it recorded, and for the people who is out of the country or whatever, if you wanted to purchase a copy of it or something like that, we'll look into all of that because I know I've been getting those questions, but haven't sorted that part out yet because we really like to promote the live experience. And sometimes when you give a virtual option, sometimes people just take the, that easier road. So, but we want you in the building. So, Coach Jessica, any other words or insights or call to actions you have for the people?
Yeah, so I would like to say, you talked about even if you're an introvert to show up. I'm an introvert. And a lot of people don't realize that, but I am. And so, when you think about the fear of meeting people, you going somewhere you don't know anyone, that's okay because you don't know who you're. All it takes is one person that you meet, right? That can change your life and really change your experience. I know in Lakeland, somebody saw that you had posted something on Instagram and was like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you," and just feel your energy, right? You just don't know what it's like to connect with people who are positive, who are like-minded, and have a goal in mind. You can meet somebody who's already started their business or who also is working on their business. You can meet somebody who is working on their weight loss journey, who's trying to get those 10,000 steps in every day. Whatever it may be, somebody in that room is going to be able to relate to you. And, it's an opportunity for you to really step outside of your comfort zone wherever you are in life, because you have so many opportunities in this room just to be blessed. And so I hope that you choose yourself. I choose me. One thing we have to do is invest in ourselves. That's why I do coaching with Tony, because I believe in what he does, but then also I know that he is a person that is, he's about business, but he's also intentional about helping his clients. And he pours into us all the time for free on YouTube. And so take this initiative to choose yourself, to invest in yourself, because there's just going to be so much in the room that you just do not want to miss. And you won't get an opportunity to get it again. So that's the last thing I will say. And then for tickets, yes. So if you want to do lunch with Tony, it is very important. The hotel has been asking me to finalize it. So please, if you want that intimate experience, it is going to be capped. Please make sure that you go ahead and secure that. Tony's going to put the link in the comments. But the cutoff date for everything is April 11th. And that's that. And I know I'm a person that procrastinates. And so, unfortunately, there will be no additional extensions. So, if you want to be in the place, the time is now before we exceed the caps, as well as to make sure that you're going to be in the room. So, don't be afraid to bet on yourself, is what I would say.
Yes. And it's whichever comes first. So, if we sell out before that, then of course it'll be closed. So, hopefully you can join us. And I do know when you come, you're gonna leave different. And ironically, and it's every client I tell this too, just like what Coach Jessica said, I'm also an introvert, and a lot of people can't tell it just because I'm operating in my purpose. And so I'm pushing myself to that place. And so that's what I want you to realize. And I never forget, I was doing everything for free. Not me doing it, but I only wanted free stuff. I only wanted free stuff. And this lady, this publicist said to me, she said, Tony, one day you're going to have to pay for something. And I had a scarcity mindset. I didn't want to pay for a ticket. And I never forget, I paid $1,300 for a conference ticket. And the next day I got booked for $5,000 on the same day. And I just took that as a sign of, like, when you invest in yourself, the floodgates open, like things start to happen, and everything shifted in my life, in my business, in my mind when I started choosing me, when I started investing in me. So that's why we also doing this as well. And as you notice, we ain't trying to sell you like religion or none of that. So we all are people of faith, but we ain't trying to market and monetize that. It's about your health and wellness, your mental health. So everything that we doing is with intention. And so join us April 18th, right, Jessica? April 18th.
Yes.
Because I got another date in my head at the same time. So the link is in the description box for y'all. The description box, sometimes you got to hit that little down arrow right under the video, because I'll say that in the video and somebody will be in the comments, where's that link at for Dallas? It's in the description box. And I'll see if you can if I could put it in the comments as well, put a link in the comments and pin it just in case. But we look forward to seeing you. Thank you for your time, and we will see you soon.
See y'all in
Thank you, Coach
Dallas.
Jessica. Let me see here, because I got the